conditions are something that we in the meteorological service are always monitoring. It's important, actually that's why we are set up. We are set up to observe weather conditions, not only over Jamaica, but right around the island and through the Caribbean region. Anywhere that we could be impacted by weather systems, it's important that we are monitoring those areas because we don't know when we'll be at risk. We don't know, we know for a fact that Jamaica is always vulnerable to tropical storms and hurricanes, for example. I mean, we're also vulnerable to earthquakes and a lot of other things like the flooding and so many other hazards that impact us. But storms and hurricanes will always impact us as long as it's the hurricane season. And the hurricane season actually starts in June. You were saying June is too soon, but June is not too soon because we really
taught us.
That's what they taught you. And that's why I have to debunk it from the very beginning, because June is not too soon, because even in June we could be impacted by a tropical storm or a hurricane because they tend to develop close to us at that time. And then as we go through July and through August and September, we see that more and more systems develop and more of them now start to come from a farther distance and move across closer to us. And the more distance they cover over the water, it makes them more and more likely to develop strength that they could impact us even more. So that's why it gets more intense in August and September. They're coming from a longer distance, they're moving over much more warmer water, and so they're likely to be stronger. And then in October, it's not all over because the hurricane season actually ends in November.
Ooh.
So we have another month to go even at the end of October. But during that time, we remain very vulnerable. Jamaica is always in the path of hurricanes and tropical storms as long as we are still in those 6 months. That's half of the year of the hurricane season. So we have to always be prepared.
Current menu of instruments which we have in place, and I'll just go through them. We have the contingencies fund, which has about $4.5 billion in it. That's our homegrown domestic emergency fund. Then we have insurance with the CRIF, and the CRIF covers 3 risks: hurricanes, earthquake, and excess rainfall. And the coverage for that is 238 million Jamaican dollars for all 3 policies. Right? So that's the CRIF. We have the IDB contingent credit facility, which provides coverage to the tune of 285 million US million dollars. And then we have the CAT bond, which was launched in July of 2021, and that provides coverage up to a maximum of US $185 million. Now, in J-dollar terms, I'm talking about approximately a total of $110.7 billion.
Well, what I understand is that this is a significant policy with over $100 billion set aside for a natural disaster, and what I also learned is that this policy is similar to a person having them house policy, them life insurance policy, where if something go wrong, you don't have to lick your savings and so forth. The policy help to cover it. So what is the point for the country now? Because people have looked for the country might be like our house. So if the roof gone, we can draw down on the policy and tell the insurance company, say, hey, my roof gone, so boy, you can help now fix back the roof. So with this policy now, if the road mash up, if a bridge mash up, or a hospital mash up, out of the $100 billion there, we can draw down and say, well, we want a 20 billion, we want a 5 billion to come back and fix it. And this is a significant thing. This is never heard of in Jamaica, and I'm lost for words, because here at the municipal corporation, it's going to help us significantly, because it's not going to liquid budget again, because when we have disaster, it throws off the entire budget because we have to respond to it. And I can just imagine the Ministry of Finance went and they put together their budget. It hits off the entire budget when they hear some one road mash up, one bridge broke down and so forth, hospital pop down. Even with COVID, you can hear, I think it's cost us 70 billion or something like that. If you have a policy like this in place, COVID come, you can draw down from the $100 billion. So then be almost like business as usual. The government can cushion itself. Because that's the reason why we have a situation we have now. Because, you know, it hit the budget. So stuff that the government did plan for. You know, we have to find money elsewhere. And some people think that the government just find money out of the blue.
We get paid on Friday, and by Saturday, it's like we don't know me that day. But do the fees and respond and we money. We work too hard, we take it and watch me. A long time we don't see him, down all the years. But we could have a thing sashay. We lose big out the track and here, so we can't go back there. We have to try something else. Get me pay for the blessing. All kind of way we try stretch it. We don't try pick tree, but we never yet catch it. And a lot of me have to left it. And I don't want to break the law. One of my friends say go try pan.
I've been personally hit. My family has been hit by natural disasters, and we've had to recover on our own. And so I appreciate it. Holistically, I just really hope it gets into the hands of regular Jamaicans. I do understand that natural disasters are very expensive, and so to not affect the overall national budget, that there should be a budget to mitigate things in case of some kind of natural disaster.
It is the average Jamaican that is mostly affected during an hurricane season. Our infrastructures are normally damaged. Persons will lose their roof and so on. So this policy will better help, cause the government to better help the citizens of this country. As a person that works in the local government industry, I will be monitoring it from our local office at the Clarendon Municipal Corporation, where we have a disaster risk team there. Where persons, our coordinator there, she works hand in hand with shelters, and they are the first responders for this parish whenever a disaster strikes.
I understand that the government is trying to put aside some funds for the Jamaican people in case of an emergency such as floods, hurricane, tsunami. I've never heard of one or seen one in Jamaica, but I am appreciative of what they're trying to do for the Jamaican people, and I hope that when the time comes for such event, that the contribution or the money will be given to the people that really needs it.